gentlemen of the jury, we back with another fantastic reaction video. We're reacting to what if Aphmau characters were Pokemon trainers. We did this before. I didn't know there was a part 2, and because I was looking for Minor Demons characters, but apparently the creator of the channel told me watch the second one because there are some MID characters in here. So we're gonna check it out. All right, and see if we agree or disagree. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so YouTube and Twitch Senpai can finally notice us. And with that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Let's see what kind of Pokemon trainer Rise is actually. I'm kind of curious about that one.
It is your favorite man-made disaster, Keki here.
Man-made disaster?
If you aren't
That's
up-to-date,
funny.
I made a video 3 months ago. Oh wait, 3 months ago? Ugh. Anyway, I made a video drawing Aphmau characters.
Was that the last video you
Pokemon
made
trainers,
between
and
those two?
People liked it, so part 2 because it's my job.
It's alright. It was alright. It's okay.
Yippee! In my part 1 of this little series, I'll admit I rushed the editing and script writing process as most of my information and verbal mistakes were left in and most definitely pointed out by the 22,000 people at the time I'm recording this.
Oh, really? Oh, so you're calling them out. Okay, you know what? I like that. You should call them out. Let's see them make a YouTube video. You know what? When I make YouTube videos and I'm not live, or even when I am live, and I go back and watch the videos, I make so many flubs, so many errors in like words. Like I can't English right, even though I'm a voice actor. I'm like, oh, this freaking sucks. I do so many cuts because I sound like I'm stupid, basically. Even though I'm a professional character person, voice actor, Jesus Christ. So it's totally fine, honestly. I mean, at a certain point, you just give up. You just kind of give up at a certain point. It's like, whatever, man. They're still going to watch it. You just got to have that vibe.
Who watched that video? So, I decided this time we're going to slow it down, take a breath, and really delve into the designs and my motive behind them.
Full throttle, let's
get it. As a
get
result of that, this video may be of the longer variety, so settle down,
Don't
grab
care.
a snack, and let's get into 12 more Aphmau characters as Pokemon trainers.
12 more? Okay, who we got first? Ian! Ooh. Is it a Meowth? Is it a Meowth? No, it's the, I forget the evolved form of Meowth, but that one.
Starting off this round strong is one character that several of you wanted to see last time, Ian. Usually, Ian fills the role of the antagonist. In my street, he's the inciting incident that kicks off most of the more lore-heavy aspects of the show. And in the Kokomau videos, or the Aphmau SMP as it's referred to on the wiki, he's more of a prankster and overall rude kind of guy in most videos. I really wanted to focus on encapsulating more areas of these characters in these illustrations this time around.
Ooh, I like
so
what you
that
did the
meant really
hair.
trying to mesh the most prominent points of each iteration of their multiversal character traits.
Is it that bad? Did you look back on this and say you're yapping too much? That's crazy. Do you even know who this is? Do you even know who this is? If you do, I will like your video. Just wondering.
Confused yet? Cool! The short of that is that I merged most of Ian's appearances on the Aphmau channel into a single being, which, in hindsight of the story, is so much worse than My Street Season 6's threat.
Really?
In choosing Ian's partner, I thought about Pokemon that were on the darker side of the typing chart, and that's when I settled on Meowstic. Meowstic is a pure Psychic-type Pokemon and is actually the evolved form of Esper. There were many factors I had in my mind while choosing this round's batch of Pokemon, and for Ian, I felt Psychic-type fits best with his My Street personality of mental.
Okay, I like this. I like the I'm understanding the concept of what she's saying, right? When I said Meowth, I was thinking mostly of just the prankster, gold-loving side. So I wasn't taking so much the also, hey, what is this? What's going on here? Anyway, I was not nearly taking into the account the My Street portion. I was thinking more of the the more comedic prankster antagonist side, from the daily videos. So that's on me.
manipulation, like using forever potions and the way his words torment Aaron in Season 4 and Season 6. I also thought that choosing specifically the male Meowstic would lend perfectly to Ian since they both have the same color palette, as well as Meowstic having green eyes as a callback to Ian's use of forever potions. Now, I know many people suggested Gimmighoul or Goldengo or even Zoroark, but I hope—
This is probably one of the most, like, out of the outfits you've done so far, I really like this one a lot. In terms of just the line art, specifically.
My choosing Meowstic isn't too big of a disappointment, as much as I am aware Ian likes to hoard gold in the Kokomau vids.
Yeah.
I felt it wouldn't fit Ian to have a Goldengo, because, you know, you gotta give up the gold coins you collect in order to evolve that dude. As for the reason I stayed away from Zoroark, there's another reason that will become apparent later in the video. Rather than just choosing Meowstic for vibes alone, I also chose him because of his hidden ability, Prankster. I figured finding Psychic-type Pokemon with the Prankster ability would be a good way to intertwine the two characterizations of Ian
That's really smart. I didn't even think of that. Jesus Christ.
are the most recognizable. The Aphmau SMP wiki literally states Ian as such and constantly puts the terror he wreaks in videos as pranks, so I figured it would work out well enough. For his clothing, I honestly kind of
The gloves are
just
interesting.
threw things together. I wanted the outfit to complement his Pokemon partner while also taking inspiration from his Maestri and Kokomau skins. I gave him this poncho with Meowstic's eye pattern that it has on its inner ears, and also threw in some green goggles, just as a throwback to the forever potions used on Ian post.
I get the green. I get the callback with the green. That's fair. Is there a Pokemon that is associated with potions at all, guys? Is there a Pokemon that's associated with potions at all? Because that would be a good secondary option, I think. Do you guys have any ideas? If you were to create like a team of Pokemon he would use, one of them, if I was to pick like a really basic callback one, it would definitely be Meowth, but that'd be more on the, I already explained that one. Is there there's gotta be another Pokemon who's more directly tied to the Forever Potions, or that you can use as a more direct callback to it. There is one. What's the Pokemon's name? Let's take a look at it. I would like to see you guys talking about
Season 4. I also gave him a backpack that most definitely carries all of his prankster equipment, as
Pokemon
well
do
as
use
giving
potions,
Meowstic
yes.
a little gold ingot to carry.
maybe a poison type. But the potions were more like mind control though, right? So maybe he would have a psychic type with him in his team as well. I mean outside of this one.
And with that, Ian is finished.
I like. Okay. She gave the poncho design to him. Now earlier in the explanation you mentioned that, okay, I see the rope on the back there, which is good. I was thinking, okay, if you want to add more of his personality about, let's say, the gold aspect, because there's not really much of that here, except you can kind of say the outfit looks like something you would wear, like especially with the boots, going inside caves, like you would in Pokemon. You could have added a little bit more of that throughout the design, right? Especially since you have the Pokemon carrying the gold, is almost like he just either got finished stealing it, which you can put more of the thief element to his clothes, or or if it was like, instead of a gold bar, it could be like gold, like just nuggets or whatever. Or then if he goes looking for ore in that fashion, then maybe something more of like a tiny bit more of a minor aesthetic in certain parts, like at least some of the equipment, maybe around his, like on his waist, like a belt, maybe stuff like that. Although Ian would probably be more someone who steals it than goes looks for it through his own hard work. So maybe not. There's little thoughts here and there. I don't know what you guys think. I'm not up to date with all the Pokemon. Neither am I. He needs a shiny Lycanroc. Lycanroc, huh? Let's look at Lycanroc. Lycanroc. Let's look it up. So you think a Lycanroc would be a good pick here? I mean, I like it. I like Lycanroc. I don't know if I want that for him. I don't know if I want that for him. Any let's do this. Any Pokemon that are tied to potions thematically or in lore. Maybe that's the mythical Pokemon Pecharunt is thematically tied to potions, as his lore centers on a poison candy and his abilities are based on poison. Someone mentioned a poison Pokemon. While no other Pokemon are directly based on a potion, other Pokemon have themes related to healing, medicine, or alchemical concoctions. This particular statement here, let's see what Pecharunt looks like. I don't think I've heard of this one. What do you guys think? What do you think about Pecharunt? This does give me a little bit more element of danger too. Yeah. I think a Pecharunt would also be another option. Like if you were to make a Pokemon team, if you ever make a video where you're building their Pokemon teams, I think Pecharunt would definitely be on here, right? Right? Because that would more directly tie. I think because when you make Pokemon teams, you can be more focused with certain elements of their personality. If you want to shine more, do Pokemon teams. Although that's probably more work considering the Pokemon lineup. I will put a Meowth in there for a classic type because of the gold obsession. I'll put Pecharunt in there as well. That's my opinion. But I do like this these options too. All right, let's go on next.
Let's not dwell in one place for too long, since this video is already turning out to be a behemoth, so let's keep moving forward.
Nah, I'm down, man. I'm down. What's up? Nicole! Okay.
Next up is Nicole. For those who are a part of Aphmau's newer viewers, I don't blame you for not recognizing her. Nicole
Sometimes
was
I still forget about her, to be
us
honest.
in Minecraft Diaries Season 1, Episode 61, titled Runaway, and appeared in My Street a couple months later in the Season 1 episode titled Mistletoe Wars Part 1. She also appeared in several episodes of Season 2 of My Street, but as far as I know, she hasn't been introduced in Aphmau's more recent content. I like Nicole more in Diaries, mainly due to her strong-willed and level-headed personality. We're just gonna exclude Season 2 Nicole in both My Street and Diaries, since I'm not really a fan of how she responded in either of them, but that's just me.
Oh, that's
I
cute.
took more inspiration from her Diaries counterpart, since we have way more information about her there than we do in My Street, since she's forgotten just as much as her love interest is. I chose the Alolan Vulpix as her companion, as a not-so-subtle nod to her pet Arctic fox Roxy that she had in Diaries. I never really mentioned this.
That sounds like spoilers to me. I don't know what that is. But I do love Alolan Vulpix. It looks beautiful.
Last time, but I had told myself that I wasn't gonna do any regional variants or shinies for these guys, but whatever, I love breaking my own rules, I guess. There wasn't really
I'm gonna break your one little rule, Batman.
A deeper meaning with Vulpix in the same way I had with Ian's Meowstic. That's a pattern you'll probably pick up on.
I actually don't mind. I actually have no complaints about this.
Some of these picks for the Pokemon will be super deep and meaningful.
Does she have rips in her pants?
This character had this color and this name, so I gave them this Pokemon. For Nicole's outfit, she ended up leaning sort of cowboy because I wanted her to keep her flannel shirt that she has in My Street, but flannel isn't something you really see in the Pokemon series on trainers, so I felt I couldn't justify using it.
Oh, I would love her to have a regular Vulpix and an Alolan Vulpix. For some reason, I think that'd be so adorable. If she had two of them, and they were both like related, and one of them was Alolan, or not related, but they treat each other like family. The two Vulpixes. That would be so lovely if you could have that.
With her goggles and gloves, I ended up leaning fully into the ranch hand aesthetic and figured Nicole could be like a Pokemon farm hand of some sort, with her Vulpix acting somewhat as her herding animal.
That's fine.
I kept her ripped jeans from her My Street outfit and fitted her with this sort of icy flower design on her shoes, in her hair, and as a buckle for her bag. And that is Nicole all done.
probably one of the more simplistic designs so far, but it actually fits very well. I don't really have any complaints about this. I would love to see that. You know, or she could have went this direction with a character like Kiki, to be honest. Kiki would definitely be doing what she just said Nicole would be doing, like farmhand, working with animals, you know, Pokemon breeder, that kind of thing. So anyway, yeah, I have no issues with this. I would if I was to give her another Pokemon, generally, honestly, I would just give her a second Vulpix, like a regular one.
Without much delay, let's move on to our
That's
next
cute.
trainer.
Who we got here? Vlad, huh? Okay.
Another character that was suggested last time was our third and final Romiv brother, Vlad. Vlad's first appearance was
I have no idea who you would give Vlad. Someone said Lycanroc earlier. Maybe he gets that.
mysterious glimpse in episode 1 of Diaries season 1 titled New World. Vlad wouldn't show up in My Street until several months later in episode 27 of season 1.
I actually dig this.
We don't know much about My Street Vlad, but we do know quite a bit about Diaries Vlad, so that's where I took most of the inspiration from. In Diaries, we first kind of assume he's this sort of ninja, peeking through trees, being generally mysterious as he leads Aphmau to Phoenix Drop, you know, that kind of stuff. He turns out to be a Shadow Knight, but his, regular garb, I guess you could call it that, the one that's all green and black, stood out more, so I ended up merging his My Street clothes with that existing outfit. As for Vlad's partner, I had originally planned to give him a Kecleon or Servine, but to this day, I still have no idea why I had those two written down. I guess the green was throwing me off or something. Kecleon made sense since he can disappear save for the stripe that's on him, so
I like it.
That could allude back to Vlad being able to barely blend in with the Shadow Knights. But Servine literally had no footing. In the end, I decided to go with Decidueye. I'll admit, Alola was not my favorite when it came to the anime, but let me just say something, they've got some banger
Honestly,
Pokemon. I will
this
never
is
forget
great.
What they did to you.
I have no issue with this.
Legends Arceus, my beautiful baby. Anyway, Decidueye really fits Diaries Vlad really well.
It does.
Its Pokedex entry states that it can fire its quills as arrows with maximum precision, which can also be a direct connection to Vlad's weapon of choice being a bow. Also taking into account Decidueye's color palette working very nicely with the one I ended up actually using for Vlad. His outfit was inspired by ninja Pokemon trainers from the games and anime, but with a little bit of casual flair to them. And
yeah,
with
more
that,
foresty, which honestly would blend in more with a forest-like environment a lot more, right? He would probably be very efficient with reconnaissance missions, right? Because remember if you guys remember we watched an episode where he was keeping track of Lawrence without being noticed because Lawrence was dealing with his Shadow Knight abilities. I think he was being called by the Nether at some point in season 2. I could see him in an outfit like this to kind of camouflage a little bit easier with the trees, the foliage, like the forest, and have the Decidueye scouting from a higher range, higher distance in case something goes wrong. I can see that. This is, so far it's a banger. I really don't have an issue with this one. I can't even think of a secondary option besides this, but I'm sure you guys can. My Street Vlad would definitely have a Sprigatio. Oh, let me see this. Let's see. Pokemon Sprigatito. Oh, you think so? You think you have this little cutie? You think you would have one? Oh, okay. That is adorable. I mean, maybe. Actually, no, I would think he would go for one of these instead. I think that's maybe he would. Maybe he would. Yeah, he would have it would because it wouldn't be the basic form. I think at this point he would have one of the evolved forms because I think he definitely would be more focused on battle ready Pokemon, right? You see what I'm saying? This would lead on the ground, the Decidueye would lead in the air. I feel like it would fit his cute personality in My Street. Okay. Oh, I like the plushie here. This is cute. All right, moving on. So far, I don't have any issues with the last two at all, to be honest. This one is probably as close to perfect as I can think of right now.
Vlad is complete.
In my personal opinion.
On to the next one.
You could have skipped this one. You could have skipped this one.
Michi was one that not a lot of people asked for, but was someone I really
Yeah. Yep, I would imagine.
wanted to include. Michi is nearly in everything from My Street to Diaries to the Gokomau vids, so tagging in another recognizable character for the
have to give her a
non-RP
cat.
Aphmau watchers felt like a much needed move. Her personality is pretty consistent through all iterations of her, which feels impressive for some reason, often messing with people and being a general nuisance to the people who have to interact with her. I had thought a lot about what I wanted her to be and ended up making her Casey's Pokemon performing rival. Her performance Pokemon partner ended up being a Purloin, not just because it's a purple cat with green eyes, but because Purloin also has the hidden ability Prankster for the same reason Ian's Meowstic does. I had originally thought about giving her a Glammeow since that Pokemon is described as being fickle and spiteful, but I ended up caving to Purloin since in-universe I'm not so sure Michi and Glammeow would get along.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was about to disagree with that. Yeah.
Each other's personalities.
She would want a Pokemon that fits her style, her aesthetic, but also would be controlled by her because she wants it. Her personality wise, she's the star of her own anime, basically, right? Like if you just remember the scene we watched with her talking to Aaron, like if you're paying attention to her, she only wants you paying attention to her. Period. End of discussion, right? A little bit of yandere in her, right? Very much entitled to everyone's affection and attention. So her Pokemon would be specifically picked to bolster that element of what she's looking for, right? So I like the hair.
I wanted to give Michi a drastically different outfit than Casey's to really separate them a bit more. It's moments like this where I really thank the Pokemon universe for making Pokemon performers have blatant Pokemon-themed outfits, because you can probably tell the design process for most of these characters' outfit creation. I would have given her gloves like Purloin seems to have, but I liked the draped sleeves a little bit too much.
I wouldn't give her gloves. I would give her like maybe some like pretty nails. You know, she would just be all girl. She'd just be all dolled out. You know what I mean? Got her hair did, everything. You know what I mean? Maximum Hollywood gal here trying to like make it in show business. Already feels like she made it. Kind of energy.
To keep them. The deal with Michi's ears was something I had pondered for like a whole 5 seconds before giving her Purloin-shaped ears.
What do you mean?
Casey's ears are modeled after a Meowth and Persian, and it fit her well, but something about giving Michi those ears didn't sit right with me.
Okay.
There are many statements in the Pokemon universe that people and Pokemon are more connected than we think, with several instances of Pokemon becoming human and learning human languages and vice versa.
Yeah.
Maybe the Mifwa were once Pokemon in this universe and somehow became people?
I mean, I can imagine that Mifwa would have an extra special connection with certain beastly type Pokemon. Like beast Pokemon can communicate with them, even if they're like aggressive towards Mifwa. Or you can in lore say that Mifwa are like, okay, so obviously in the lore of Pokemon there were instances of Pokemon becoming more human, right? So Mifwa can be considered a race in between Pokemon and human. They would be considered that in this world, right? Oddly enough, I do recall lore, if you guys remember, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, where there were instances of humans getting together with Pokemon. And I think if that is the case, it would have to be a situation where the Pokemon are essentially just humans, or very, very close to it. You know what I mean? So, and Mifwa will fit that category for me, right? That would make more sense instead of the more cringe ideas I have in my head or that I've seen.
I'm not really sure of the details myself, but that's how I'm choosing to explain this. Her outfit was actually pretty simple, much simpler than Casey's, but in all honesty, it really doesn't bother me too much.
I thought maybe she would have a little bit more. She would have more expensive stuff on her, like the earrings. I would see like earrings, maybe like something to make you say, "Wow, look at me! You can't keep your eyes off of me." Something that screams that. You know what I mean?
She actually turned into one of my favorite drawings from this batch, which
I do like the outfit from the basic design and the color scheme. It does look very cute. And she does give the nails. There we go. I'd love to see it. Is there anything you would want to change, guys? This is actually kind of difficult to ask for something here. Would there be another Pokemon? Actually, okay, if we were to give her a secondary Pokemon, so let's think of it this way. She's obviously a very devious person and is willing to cross the line if it means reaching her goals. So I would imagine a character like this being willing to cheat in these competitions, but being able to find a way to get out of it or escape suspicion. So she definitely would have a Pokemon that would enable her to do that, right? So I don't know much about this Pokemon, but if there was a secondary or third Pokemon that she maybe doesn't really use too much for the performances, but she has it specifically for these missions to tell her, to help it cheat, right? Or to help it gain, like, favor with a judge or something like that, she would have that in her back pocket. And what Pokemon could do that? What do you guys think? Embroidery on her skirt would be pretty good. Michi would have a Persian. I can see Michi having a Persian, yeah. I can see her having a Persian. But I think she would have at least one Pokemon specifically for the purpose of doing, like, some creepy stuff, not creepy stuff, but like cheating, or who's mischievous, can also help her with her manipulative part of her personality, her manipulative plans. Probably a psychic type somewhere that isn't necessarily for being pretty and in front and center. You know what I mean? Which would show more of her uglier side personality. You know what I mean? I mean, she probably would still want to look attractive or pretty. But you understand what I'm saying, right? So maybe, Heishi, if you see this, you can give some examples of Pokemon who would fit that ideal, right? Kiki knows how to do the palace right. Yep. I would also agree with that. Yes. Okay. Next.
And with Michi done, let's keep.
Honestly, compared to the first video, this one's definitely an improvement from a design standpoint. Maybe it's because they're taking more time on it. That's what I'm thinking. Gardevoir, you think so? Umbreon? Let me look at Umbreon again. Just for you guys, you know. I think Umbreon would. Is there a Pokedex entry that like talks about it from from a lore standpoint? I think Umbreon would be a good pick. It would be nice. I feel like we could do better than that, though. I feel like we can do better than that. Gardevoir. I can see her having. Wait, is this different? Is this a shiny? You know what? Michi would have a shiny Gardevoir. For sure. Honestly, that would be it. She would 100% have this. I have no problem with this Pokemon as well, but I can see her having two Pokemon in front and center with her as part of her act, in order to make her look good. A shiny Gardevoir would draw more attention to her because of the rarity, and she would love that attention. You know? But then she would have a third Pokemon at least that would be down for like the really devious, misbehaving stuff in case she absolutely needs to. Like, I could see an episode where she's competing with Kawaii-chan for his contest, and Michi is maybe winning or at first, but then Kawaii-chan starting to gain more attention, even though she's winning, and then she gets pissed off, and she tries to use her third Pokemon that people don't really see too much to like sabotage her more behind the scenes. That's an episode I will watch, to be honest. Is Dante on here? I have no idea.
Moving forward.
I like this one though. We're doing a good job, guys, picking like secondary and tertiary Pokemon. Maybe a Ninetales. I don't know about the Ninetales, though. I don't know about Ninetales. But I do like the shiny Gardevoir as an additional option. Sasha, okay.
Sasha was one of the harder trainers to get down. I wasn't sure what I wanted her to be in the context of the Pokemon universe, and it was seriously frustrating for a bit. Sasha appears in both Diaries and My Street with a majority of the same personality traits in both series. She's stoic and reserved, saving energy for the things that she deems important. In Diaries, she's a dedicated member of the Shadow Knights while her memories are erased, and is very devoted to Jean and Shad. In My Street, she's still a Shadow Knight member, but only really because she likes hanging out with Jean and Xenix too, I guess. I decided out of nowhere to make her a Pokemon Ranger. I'm genuinely still not so sure where the idea to make her a Ranger came from, but
If you're incorporating the Shadow Knights into the Pokemon world, wouldn't the Shadow Knights be their own special group, similar to Team Rocket? Maybe on a much smaller scale, because obviously just the 3 of them. Maybe they have delusions of grandeur in that regard. But wouldn't you do something like that?
but I thought it'd be a cool
I forget.
concept
I don't remember what you did with Jean. But that's what I would think.
for Sasha, since I have literally no clue what she does for work in My Street. I felt giving her a cause to be a part of helped connect her to the Shadow Knights in a way.
Okay, so we are doing that.
I don't really know. I'm really just making.
She would seem like the more deadpan / stoic member of the group if you were to do it in the context of this Pokemon world, right? Yeah, obviously Xenix would be the more chaotic member of the group, and then Jean would be obviously the mastermind, the leader, or the self-proclaimed one. Anyways,
Stuff up at this point. Maybe it would have made sense to make her like a fortune teller or something, because in My Street she said that she learned palm reading off the internet or something, but like, I don't know.
That sounds like something you're just doing. It sounds like something that she would do, just learn after just randomly just searching online just for things online. You know, and she's like, oh, I guess I'll try it. That kind of energy, you know what I mean? I guess I'll try it. Maybe I'll let Gene know about it, see what he thinks. You know what I mean? She might maybe her personality can be modified slightly in this Pokemon world, where she's kind of like a character that kind of knows random pieces of like trivia that she searches off the internet. You know what I mean? Maybe, I don't know.
I got suggestions from people saying that she should have an Absol or a Frostlass, and I totally get why those two came up the most in conversation, but my thoughts were leaning in a different direction with Hisuian Zorua. Zorua's evolved form Zoroark was suggested for Ian, as I mentioned prior, but this Pokemon's Dex entry states that it changes its form to hide its cowardly disposition, which could work for Sasha, but definitely not for Ian. Zorua seemed so close, but not quite what I wanted to give Sasha, and then I saw the Dex entry for the Hisuian variant of this Pokemon.
Okay.
A once-deprived soul returned to life in Hisui, derives power from resentment, which rises as energy atop its head and takes the form of foes. In this
Wow, that's very Shadow Knight coded.
way, Zorua vents lingering malice. It was so perfect for her Diaries
Jesus
counterpart,
Christ.
it almost scared me. Plus,
That was actually crazy that you found that.
the red and gray colors of this now ghost-type Pokemon lends nicely to her Shadow Knight aesthetic. Also, Sasha having a little guy just felt right to me. I made sure her colors, besides the Pokemon Ranger colors that she has, were almost exclusively purple and white, just so she's sort of still recognizable as Sasha. Finishing Sasha was super relieving.
What do you
and
think
she-
about the red here? I don't know about the red. I thought maybe like more of the bluish gray of her outfit here would be better here, but maybe you felt like of all that you okay, I see why. I see the red. I know why you put the red in there to like to get some of the color palette from the Pokemon on here. Maybe it's a little bit too much red for me, but I feel like I get why you have it here.
She actually doesn't look half bad despite how much I struggled on her. Now that
I get what you mean with the struggling.
she's done,
I can see it.
let's keep rolling along.
I can understand why you struggle. I think yeah, maybe if you went a little bit closer to this design, to be honest, and maybe she had long black sleeves and then just like something over that with the button down, maybe that would have been good. Maybe that would have been enough. I think you can still do the ranger kind of aesthetic with that. You can still give her the ranger ideal, then, you know, or maybe you didn't go with that because it would have been too close to what this is, right? Actually no, because think about it this way, like in a similar fashion to how you did Vlad. Vlad is also a Shadow Knight, and he's definitely really good at, you know, like you pinpointed the ninja aesthetic, the ninja point parts of him pretty well. I think you could have also done something similar with her, right? In a little bit different way, maybe in a more modern ninja look, more athletic garb. Maybe. I do like the expression though. I have no qualms about the Pokemon. I don't know if you guys have any other options. I don't know if you have any other options for this. I think the Pokemon idea is fine, especially the Pokedex entry fits one very well. Very, very well.
Still recognizable as Sasha. Finishing Sasha was super relieving, and she actually doesn't look half bad despite how much I struggled.
I like the red on the shoes. I think it's the jacket that bothers me.
Her. Now that she's done, let's keep rolling along.
Because red, I think when you put red on a character, it's almost like they're like shouting, "Look at me," almost in a way. I feel like Sasha's not the kind of person that wants that's not gonna. I don't know. Maybe am I wrong about this? Maybe it feels a little bit more muted. I don't know. I have to think about it more. Xanax!
Xanax was difficult for a variety of reasons, mainly Pokemon-wise. I had so many thoughts on what to actually give him, and the overwhelming suggestions I was getting from others was, well, overwhelming, for lack of a more articulate term. I had brainstormed a Bisharp or Poochyena for vastly different reasons, but both usually fell flat for me. Bisharp is a prideful Pokemon and wants to be a leader, but if it's defeated in a battle for rulership, it will abdicate its position when it loses, and if Diary's Xenix is anything to go by, bro is not getting along with that walking rotary blade. Poochyena was to help fit his My Street characterization. Poochyena is a very, nibbly Pokemon that's really hostile to anything that moves, but turns and tucks its tail when it's bit back or chased. It would also fit in with Jean's Houndoom I gave him in the last episode, but I guess I was still on the fence about it. I felt like making Xenix closer to his Diaries character would be interesting to see how it works out in the Pokeverse, so in line with Diaries, I gave him a Fracture. Fracture is only really stated to be explicitly violent in only one of his dex entries, specifically from Pokemon Shield, saying that its favorite strategy is to tackle its opponents while stabbing it at the same time.
Wow.
So, if that doesn't fit Diary Xenix, I don't know what does. I gave him his red eyes rather than his My Street
we went with this outfit. This outfit looks kind of cool, actually.
brown ones, just so we can really see the Diary's influence here. I made him more punk than I was expecting, but then again, pairing him with my Jean design, it actually makes a lot of sense. His little scarf thing is meant to match with Fracture.
I get why you put this on the shirt. I get it. I kind of liked the jacket here with the little scar. Like, it looks like scars scratched over his chest, kind of. I kind of wish you went that way a little bit.
Neck armor sense. His little scarf thing is meant to match with Fracture's, like, neck armor, and the black and white striped shirt he has on was for absolutely no reason at all, and any coincidence to the place Xenix should be right now is completely coincidental. I honestly wish I had more to say about him, but everything with Xenix.
So you too are a supporter of jail. I see. Very interesting. Yes. I approve.
Came pretty natural to me drawing-wise, and he just looks so goofy and silly. I love him. He's so problematic. Anyway, Xenix is done. Let's move along to the next character.
I like it. Wow, I just realized she put spikes on the shoes. That is awkward. I like the belt a lot, though. I don't know if I like the spikes on the shoes like that. Maybe if you can make it as a more flat design, like as a print on the shoes, instead of like, I could kick someone in the knee and their knee explodes. Maybe that'd be better, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, he doesn't look like he'll that he can use bite attack as well, actually, which is kind of crazy. Cadenza, okay.
I didn't have Cadenza put down on my original list, but this single request from Travis's VA Patrick Seymour skyrocketed
Brendan and Cadenza? Ah, I see. Very interesting. I see, you take requests, do you?
her to a top priority.
Bro. You should do... Guy, do you think an alternate themed one? Maybe an alternates themed one? Like if Alternates Aphmau was a Pokemon trainer, what Pokemon would that be? That'd be a wild test for you.
Cadenza briefly in the last video while talking about Lawrence, and for those who aren't aware, Cadenza is Lawrence's adopted sibling in both Diaries and My Street. She isn't seen as often in My Street, but when she is, she's talking about a prospective job at Romave Studios, which mainly specializes in televised entertainment like the Lycans. However, in Diaries, she's a seamstress and the later Lord of Metelli, and I really wanted to give her something fun and sassy.
Okay, so this dress better be crazy. This dress better be ridiculous, right? Because she's going to want to show off her expertise, you know what I'm saying? All right.
And I just wanted to draw her in a pretty dress. Can you blame me? She's gorgeous.
Absolutely should do that.
The seamstress option was the path I really wanted to take. I knew immediately who Cadenza had to have as her partner, Leavanny. It was also kind of perfect since Cadenza is seen in green like 90% of the time, so another win for the color palette. And then came the
green is not a creative color. FYI.
Difficult part, designing the dress to fit Pokemon standards. I was struggling hard for this one.
I like the hair.
Every version I drew felt less and less like Pokemon and more like something I would just draw in my spare time. I figured her back should be a centerpiece since I had her facing away from the audience, so I eventually gave her a large cutout not only to show more of the true green top she has underneath, but also to allude to Leavanny's cutouts on her leaf hands.
I would have liked the shoulders to be exposed here, to be honest. I would have liked the shoulders to be exposed, to be with this fit, to be honest.
I also want to take a brief moment to mention Cadenza's hair. It's originally supposed to be like a gradient that resembles a flame, but in my research I wasn't able to find any references of the trainers to see if gradients and fades were Pokemon art style approved. And then Pokemon Presents happened, and the latest trailer for Legends ZA literally confirmed it, and...
Ooh.
I'm so tired of
Do
this.
it.
I gave the gradient a shot, and decided I liked the blocks of color better. Sorry. That's just how it be. Anyway, in the end she turned out so gorgeous, and I'm super happy with the finished drawing.
Okay.
So, all the trouble, worth it, immediately.
Hold on, I have a weird suggestion. Let me double check something here. Let me look at the... What if she had stockings underneath these? I still want the I still think the shoulders being exposed would be my preference, but that's mostly just a preference. And I know she wears armor too. So while I wouldn't want her wearing armor on the dress for this particular moment, because this is clearly more about the seamstress side of her than the the battle ready side of her. Maybe if she had something on her to indicate that she's ready at a moment's notice to be battle ready, that would be okay, right? Like, I'm not familiar with all the tools a seamstress would use, but if she had it on her person, but like in a Pokemon themed version of that, somewhere, then, or even if the Pokemon was carrying it for her, that would be an interesting little option there. You know what I mean? And maybe if the dress was like a little bit longer, almost like she's preparing a dress to show off to a client by putting it on herself. I think that might be an interesting option there. Anyways, let's keep it going.
I gave the gradient a shot and decided I liked the blocks of color
off the shoulder
better.
would be beautiful. Yeah, it would be.
Sorry. That's just how it be.
It would be.
Anyway, in the end she turned out so
Sewing
gorgeous,
needle?
and I'm
something more than that, but I know what you mean.
super happy with the finished drawing.
I do like the Pokemon she chose here. Because, I mean, it looks like I don't know much about it, but it does, like, you could use that Pokemon to assist you with, like, cutting, like, precise cuts and things of that nature. She would also have a Pokemon that can do more precision maneuvers, though, because this seems like a more this doesn't seem like someone who can make like a very make alterations. You know what I mean? She probably would do it herself, but she might have. But I think a Pokemon that can do that would be ideal. I don't know what kind of Pokemon that would be, though. Let's see. Let me see. Let me go to. Let me do this real quick. Pokemon that are known to help with clothes. Let's just be a very specific. Let's be a very generic thing. Pokemon known for helping with clothes includes okay. So Suwaddle. Is that the one I have here? I don't. Isn't that just the? That's just the. Yeah. Okay. So that's just what she literally just said that, bro. They create clothing from leaves. Oh, that's cute. And yeah, so yeah, these are fine. These are fine. Yeah. Is there anyone else I'm missing? Delibird. That's right, dude. She would definitely have a Delibird. Because in the bag, you could put all the sewing supplies. Whenever she needs something, you can just pull it out. That would be cute. And it's got the red, which complements the green aesthetic of herself and her Pokemon, but also some of the red highlights in her. Well, the red elements in her hair. So yeah, that'd be a good one. I'm always that's pretty cool.
So all the trouble, worth it immediately. Love her.
Now, by the way, I'm not saying this isn't the best, like a great option. I am. I'm just trying to think what other, if I was to think of a secondary or third Pokemon we would add to it. I think that would work.
It's done. We're on to the next one.
If Heishi was to go back and like put more into it, I know the designs are the designs are simplistic for time's sake, but like definitely I would like to see something on this to show how talented she is at making beautiful clothes. Pierce. All right, we know he's getting a sheep. We know he's getting a sheep, guys. We know he's getting a sheep.
Characters that may be a little bit more foreign to my Street and Diaries watchers. Pierce is a character.
Yeah, we watched part 1 already.
Aphmau made in 2019 called My Inner Demons.
Yeah, I've heard about this. I've heard it's one of the best shows ever created.
A lot. So of course I rewatched the series and a couple of recent Aphmau videos to get a grip on his character.
Yeah, how'd that help?
You can just see the joy in my eyes. I'm so happy. Pierce is a type of entity called the Deimos and is vastly different from the Pierce that's seen in Aphmau's videos today. Like, no joke, these guys are so different, the only thing that they really share is the name Pierce and their haircut. Pierce in My Inner Demons is pretty calm and collected and on the more silent side rather than his Kokomau counterpart, who is literally a nuclear bomb of hyperactivity. Pierce is one of, if not my favorite character in MI.
First thing I would say, he's got to be a little bit bulkier. Maybe even sleeveless. You gotta show the guns. You gotta show the guns, bruh. You gotta show the guns.
And seeing him like that was surprising, I guess. So in this version, I kept his more stoic personality while letting his Poke partner take on his Kokomau characteristics. I selected Whimsicott for a couple of reasons. One that's like super obvious by now, and one that my sister pointed out to me while I was running stuff by her. In the Kokomau vids, Pierce is like obsessed with sheep for some reason.
Yeah,
I literally have no clue as to why, and neither does the wiki, but to each their own, I guess. That connection to sheep and
Shadow probably
was good enough for me, but also that Pierce kind of looks like a dragon and lends to fantastical nature well enough to also justify.
I like. Oh, okay. I see this. 100%. 100%.
Whimsicott's fairy typing. Also, Whimsicott looks like a sheep, so
I would give him, to complement this particular Pokemon with him, definitely a more physically domineering beast-looking type monster, right? Like something like, not a Tauros, if I'm thinking about the old gen, but something that evokes that type of feeling, right? Not a Tauros though, but something that gives me that type of like emotion.
thumbs up. I know many people suggest
Like he tamed it and now it's like domesticated. It's you know, like maybe it's been through some stuff. Like maybe it has a scar on him or something like that, and it was wild and aggressive, but pierced with his calm, stoic nature and his physical, you know, his a presence was able to calm it down, and it became his Pokemon.
Go-Goat or
Gyarados? What is that? Hold on a second. What is that? Are you just spelling it wrong? You're not saying Gyarados, are you? You are saying Gyarados. What is this? This looks cool. I can see Pierce having this, not the regular one. You know what I mean? Pierce is a Gyarados. This is a Mega Gyarados, right? Can you normally keep a Mega Gyarados? Or do you have to evolve it? I guess maybe Gyarados, maybe for battle. Yeah, I can see that. That's fine, especially with the color scheme. Mudsdale. Let me see Mudsdale. I'm not familiar with that one. I could potentially see that option. What's the Pokedex? What's the Pokedex entry on Mudsdale? This Pokemon has been treasured not just for its physical labor, but also because it produces high-quality mud used for making pottery. I like the design. I don't know about it for Pierce. I don't know about Pierce, though. Oh my god, James, you know how Pokemon works? Megas aren't permanent. I know they're not permanent. I just feel like he would have it, though. For battle. So he would have a Gyarados. You have a Gyarados, and then it would be his only Mega Evolution he would have access to in a fight. But I don't know about this one. I don't think that would work. I don't think that would work. I don't know about that one. I think it's because of the Pokedex entry for it says something about it produces mud used for making pottery. I don't know if I see Pierce doing that. That's cute. That's cute. See the Mudbray. Oh, I can't look at it. It doesn't fit the character in my opinion. I think I tend to agree with you. I tend to agree with you about the Mudsdale. To be honest with you, I would tend to agree. What's up? Welcome to the stream. All right, let's go ahead. Continue. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a Tauros would be good enough. You know, it's old. It's one of the older Pokemon, but maybe Tauros would be good. Maybe. Is there alternate versions of is this the Mega Evolution of Tauros, guys? Or is this the Paldean version? Yeah, I'm not familiar with this one. I have not seen this one before. Oh, stamina was something. Also, it has the horns. The horns kind of like are a little bit of a like the way the horns are designed. Kind of, they're not exactly like Pierce's at all. Pierce's are more forward, but a Pokemon with horns would kind of give it a little bit of a. I can see it having. I can see him having this breed, actually. I can see him having this breed. To be honest. I can see him having this. A Smeargle? I don't know about Smeargle. I think this variation of Tauros would be what I would say. But we can look at your option real quick. Yeah, you know what? Immediately no. I don't know about that, bro. I don't think so. It's not just about sheep. I didn't pick I literally think I was on the money with Tauros. With that
Or Skidoo,
with that variation
but
especially.
they're goats, not sheep. So there's a difference.
There's a difference. Yeah, it's true.
Is there a difference?
I don't think you should always have a sheep though. Like, I mean, that's why obviously Tauros isn't a sheep, but you definitely this should be the front and center, right? 100%.
I'll look it up later. And also something I found out literally when I started to color this drawing. Whimsicott Shiny has blue horns. It's a match made in heaven. Get this boy his shiny Whimsicott right now.
Yeah.
His outfit, I made it similar to his SMP clothing while giving him a couple patches to add some more details to his jacket. I wanted him to have his horns in some way, so I gave him little pointy earrings, kind of like Drasna from the Kalos Elite Four.
Very interesting.
But way toned down. Also, having piercings is funny.
Oh, brother. I will downvote your video with the quickness.
This is where you laugh. And Pierce is complete. On to the next Deimos.
All right. Pants are very interesting. I actually don't mind it at all. Is this Noi? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see how Noi's going. Let's see how Noi looks.
People practically begged for in the previous video, so here he is. I hand him gently to you. Noi is also from My Inner Demons and is just as weak in that series as he is in the SMP. I had thought about Pincurchin for him initially, but looking into the Dex entries strayed me away from the idea since there really wasn't much to it except for the fact that it was yellow.
It's a cute little bird.
I kept looking, and somewhere along the road I pondered giving him a Minccino, but all that came to a halt when I stumbled across the perfect partner for Noi. A Pokemon so incredibly fantastic and suited for him that all other choices paled in comparison.
Oh, you seem very confident about this.
This tiny flying ball of feathers
What's it called?
suited for him that all other
What's
choices
it called?
paled in comparison. Pidove.
Pidove.
This tiny flying ball of feathers comprised of one singular brain cell felt too perfect for Noi and his Kokomon
I'm liking the outfit
Am
so
I
far.
calling him dumb? Yes. Yes, I am. Pidove's Dex entry says that it's pretty forgetful and tends to live in flocks like actual pigeons do. It also states that they are accustomed to people, and Noi in My Inner Demons was really the first one of the group to really find his groove when they spent time with Ava. Also, with Noi having a small and honestly quite, unimpressive Pokemon, could also harken back to the way Noi regards himself in both universes where his character is utilized.
I have no issues with this design at all. This is really good. I really like this. Even the pink socks work really well with this.
He seems to see himself as weak and easily tricked, leading him to maybe start resonating with this small Pidove before catching it.
Yeah.
His outfit was pretty easy. It's basically a normal trainer outfit along with the backwards cap he sports in My Inner Demons. Noi ended up being more on the simple side, but I'm actually kind of digging it, so it's fine.
Honestly, this is sometimes when you're designing characters, the idea when you're redesigning characters, reimagining them, some characters just immediately like snap your fingers. I got it. It's perfect, right? And Noi is definitely one of those for Keki.
He's all finished, so let's keep moving.
I agree with this entirely. I have no issues with this. I can't even I don't know what secondary Pokemon you would have with him with this. But it definitely would have to be a Pokemon where he would resonate with it on an emotional level due to his inferiority complex, right? For sure. You have a rainbow Whimsicott? That's nice. Leaf!
Another minor
You give him a Scyther? Don't give him a Scyther.
Demon's
He doesn't
character,
deserve it.
Leaf used to be exclusive to MID until recently, where he appeared in a couple of the Kokomo videos. I did watch at least one video where he appears, and it's personally not enough to gauge his character for me, so we'll just be sticking to his minor demon's characterization for
Fair,
now.
that's fair.
Leaf was an assassin before being recruited to the Prince's Royal Guard, and seems to be murder happy. I guess that's
Yeah.
the right word for it. He's very eager to slice anything that moves and is often taking advantage of his ninja-like skill set. So, in the spirit of things that I just mentioned, I gave him a Scyther. Scyther is a super...
Okay. Alright, you. Alright. Sure. You love green, don't you? You really like green. I noticed that. I guess Scyther was the obvious choice, wasn't it, Chad, huh?
For speedy Pokemon, often being referred to as ninja-like in his dex entries, and between the dex, the color, and the fact that Scyther's arms literally look identical to Leaf's signature weapons in MID, I felt he was the perfect fit. Having so many characters that are described to be like ninjas kinda posted a problem for me. I didn't want all of them to end up looking too similar because I am nothing if not consistent in my repetitive nature, so here's hoping that they all look distinct enough. Leaf's outfit in this drawing was more based on...
By the way, this video has 5.6k views. We gotta up those numbers, chat. We gotta up those numbers. All right, that's not enough. We need to be double in like the next few weeks.
his traditional Deimos garb than his human outfit or even his Scyther's aesthetic, but I was honestly sick of drawing collared button-ups at this point, so cut me a little bit of slack here.
I take back what I said. Jail! How dare you with those dad puns in my presence? I take it
I
back.
also gave him, like, one of those armband
No
things
legs for
that
you.
you could hold your iPod in. Oh my gosh, I feel old. And a simple muffin bag. I also gave him a headband. Ignore the fact that I gave my other
Honestly, the headband looks great. The headband looks great here.
white-haired trainer a headband that has his Deimos horns on it, since you couldn't really see his earrings in the drawings well enough for a piercing. Anyway, there's not much more I can add since Leaf was one of the first characters I had a solid plan for, so with him finished, let's move along to our two final
Yeah,
characters.
I don't really have any issues with this at all. Not really, no. This design here reminds me of like Chinese outfits. To be honest with you guys. So maybe you could have leaned to that a little bit more. As a test? I don't know. But yeah, generally speaking, I don't have an issue with this at all. Not really. This is pretty cool. Yeah, Scyther was too obvious, right? Scyther was the obvious pick. What we got here? Ash! Okay. We know he's gonna get a fire type, right? We'll be giving him a Charizard or something. Maybe it's gotta be someone with fire, right? We know this, right?
Ash is like Leaf, in which he only just recently got added to the Kokomo videos and doesn't really have enough to go off of from that one video. So we're working with his minor demon's character instead. Ash is the Prince of Deimos and is super hot-headed.
Yep.
He mellows out towards the end of the season, but this dude is seriously angry for a severe majority of the
Why you giving him Elite 4 vibes right now? I don't think I didn't notice that.
show. I had thought about giving him an Aegislash or like a Furfru due to their connections to royalty in the Pokeverse, but the one I settled on wasn't either of them. I decided on Armor Rouge, a Pokemon that has only appeared in Pokemon Scarlet, and it is only available in said game. It has a Fire Ghost counterpart in Violet, but its dex entry for Scarlet caught my eye due to its mentions of loyalty and the armor of the distinguished warrior that helped to evolve it. He's also red and has fire. Even better, for his outfit design, I wanted to give him a vibe that's a mix of Lance from the Kanto Elite 4 and
Of course. Yeah, we noticed.
on from the Galler Championship, so leaning more towards gym leader status. His outfit was originally going to be way more casual than what I ended up putting him in, but I am
very down with
the
this.
final outfit has to Lance because he specializes in dragon
Very
types,
down
and
with
Deimos
this.
tend to remind me more of dragons than the demons they're most likely based on. I gave him the classic Kanto volcano badge in place of the Deimos crest he has on his original skin. His earrings are meant to look
really
like
cool.
his horns, and the little ear cuff he has is supposed to be his horn ring.
I am down with every
ring
part of
on
this
his
design
horn
so far.
that he has on his horn.
A horn ring.
That's all I can describe it as.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
It's a
That sounds weird.
decoration.
Yeah.
I think he actually turned out super cool and really embodies his princely character.
Actually, it would be cool if he had a ring on his finger, though. That, for some, but I don't know where you over the gloves. I don't know about that. I don't know.
And with Ash
Couldn't do
finish,
that.
we finally made it to our final character.
Aphmau horns looks weird for some reason. I don't know. Like, it's something about it. I did not know about this Pokemon, to be honest with you guys. I'm totally down with this. I'm totally down with this. This is perfect. Houndoom would also be sick. I think someone else has Houndoom, but yeah, Houndoom, I can see him having that one. Yeah. Are you seeing drawings from your friends or what? This is a YouTube video showing their redesigns, reimagining characters in another world, which is always a very interesting topic. For when you looking at Aphmau characters. I think there's a really good crossover, by the way. I think there is opportunity for crossover for things like that, And a lot of the Aphmau videos do explore some of those kind of crossovers every once in a while. Like, for example, K-pop Demon Hunters. A lot of the content seems to work really well with Aphmau. With the brand. I'm not sure what else, but there's a lot. I'm not sure what else right now at the top of my head, but yeah, I think that design was absolutely insane. Yeah, definitely I definitely knew you were going the Lance route. By the way, Keki, it was a straight up like, why wouldn't you do that? I love the cape. Very simplistic, but it does it. It's the right amount of like princely vibes, royalty vibes, also soldier kind of, military. Wow, yeah, his eyebrows thick. Holy crap! I just realized that. Okay.
The cuff he has is supposed to be cool and really.
This is obviously saving the best for last, right, guys? I mean, obviously. All right, guys. All right, man. All right, you know what? Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. I don't know what Pokemon you're going to pick for Rise. All right, let's see what happens.
Rise was so easy and simple, it was a crime.
Really? Oh, he didn't commit no crimes now. No jail for Rise, okay? Let's not talk about crimes right now, okay? You're making me nervous. All right, let's see what you got. He's so simple and easy, huh? I'll be the judge of that.
Knew I wanted him to sport the intelligence he shows in both his
because he got slapped to your block with intelligence. That's why. Ooh, Lapras?
P and MID appearances, so I made him a Pokemon professor. I know I really messed up when it came to my last Pokemon.
Yeah, he would be a professor. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah, that would make sense.
Professor, so much so that Kim's VA Corinne had commissioned me to essentially fix it, which, yeah, fair.
What? Huh? What was that?
Rise was so easy and simple, it was a crime. I knew I wanted him to sport the intelligence he shows in both his SMP and MID appearances, so I made him a Pokemon professor.
Okay.
I know I really messed up when it came to my last Pokemon professor, so much so that Kim's VA Corinne had commissioned me to essentially fix it.
What the heck? Corinne! Leave our poor fans alone. What the heck? Yeah. Word? Okay, all right. I see how. All right. All in good fun. Yeah, I know. I'm just playing.
Which, yeah, fair point, I guess. So I wanted Reese to be different. Rise.
Okay. That was. You were very close to going to jail. I was about to call fake fan on somebody. That's crazy. Anyways.
Rise. Gosh dang it, Keki, his name is Rise! Okay, side tangent. But Jessica, if you are for some reason watching this by some miracle, why is it pronounced Rise when it is so clearly spelt Reese? Then again.
No, Rise, I've only heard the pronunciation as Rise. And that's before I even did Minor Demons, actually. In fact, I used to play Magic the Gathering, and there was a commander by the name of Rise the Redeemed. Spelled, I think, the same way, too. I've only ever heard of it pronounced that way. With Reese, I thought that was more of like, similar to like the R-E-E-C-E word, to be honest. So I only heard that being said as Reese. And then and then obviously the other pronunciation is Rise with the H and the Y in there. So that's how I've only ever heard of it. So, thank you so much for the raid, Rain the Loon. Really appreciate it. How you doing? Yeah, that was very close to being a fake fan alert, guys. Fake fan alert. For all the new people coming in here in the chat, hanging out with us, I'm the voice of Rise for the Aphmau YouTube channel. We're just checking out some Pokemon redesigns, some Pokemon reimaginings for some of the characters.
You haven't really been consistent with a lot of the other classic name spellings, so why am I really bothered by this?
Don't worry about it.
Anyway.
Don't worry about it.
I decided that Rise...
I love what you did with the hair. Now, this is very interesting because I've seen designs of the hair like this, but more recently, I've seen more of like the dreadlock, more of the designs heading more towards the dreadlock, whether it's the Minor Demons poster that you saw at VidCon, for example, or even some of, I think there was a video where Rise had a different haircut that leaned more into what his design was for the Shuki videos. If you remember the animated, the drawn illustrations of Rise for the Shuki videos, they more lean heavily towards like the dreads, right? Compared to what she's doing, which is more to what I've seen interpretations of Rise when MID first came out. So, yeah, that's very interesting. Also earrings. Okay, nice. I do like how you interpreted this, though. I do like this a lot.
Partner would be a Lapras. Lapras are usually portrayed as very intelligent and dependable Pokemon.
Okay.
In the anime, episodes that focus around Lapras...
And Rise is very intelligent and dependable. You are right about this. You know, I gotta say, you were right on the money with this. You didn't just suck me with the ice cream Pokemon. You know, that would have given you a downvote if you just took the easy way out and gave me like some ice cream Pokemon. Okay, I've seen it before. I forget its name. All right, but thank God you didn't give me that one.
Lapras tend to show it caring for other Pokemon or fighting to protect something important.
It's cute.
Also, as you may already have guessed, that's the perfect blue Pokemon for my already blue-coded character. Adding on another layer to that, it also has Ice-type moves. And I'm pretty sure that Rise has Ice Magic. Could be completely wrong.
Yeah, no, he definitely does, from what I've seen, yeah.
Wrong. I've already forgotten. Rise's colors didn't give me near as much trouble than my last Poke Professors did, but hey, everyone's got their own problems. I ended up putting Rise's necklace that he has...
I love the shoes. That is the perfect type of shoes he would wear. Absolutely. 100%.
Minor Demons on his ear, rather than something to emulate his horns, since I thought it worked nicer.
Okay, that makes sense.
And with that, our final trainer...
Or you could give him a hairpin. Or you can give him a hairpin angled in a way that resembles his horn. That would have been another option too, but I like this too. This is very simple, very much perfect. I like this a lot. Yep. This is definitely one of the easier designs for sure. You would have gone to jail if you gave me ice cream Pokemon. You would have gone straight to jail if you gave me. What's the name of the ice cream Pokemon, guys? What's the name of the ice cream Pokemon? I forget the name. See, just take a quick look at it. Like, if you gave me this little piece of garbage, if you gave me this little shit, I would have just jailed you straight up. Vanilla, like I would have just, you would have been forever in jail if you'd. Actually, this one's cute. This is cute. Okay, all right. Like no. All right. Glad you did not do that. I'm appreciating the intelligence here. Either way, have fun. Sorry to raid and dip on dead tight. No, you good, man. I appreciate you. You take care and enjoy your weekend. Yeah. I'm glad we didn't do the ice cream Pokemon. All right. Hey, she knew to avoid that travesty. Give him an ice cream cone? No, he's at work. Okay, look at him.
Is complete.
I like that one. You did well. I think you deserve that thumbs up and that like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Maybe you should go here and check this out. You know, I just feel like after everything we've seen so far, I feel like this was perfect. Oh, you know, especially the very end there. You know, no reason whatsoever. You know, that's not objective. By the way, very objective analysis in my personal opinions. You know, my opinions are objective.
These designs felt so much more involved than last time and a little bit more tricky on the technical side, but they're all done, so I don't really care right now. Yep. If you'd like to see the full detailed drawings, they'll be uploaded to all my social media, so follow me everywhere if you want a closer look at these illustrations. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you.
Nice! I would love if you can design Rise as a Yu-Gi-Oh character next, because I also voice in Yu-Gi-Oh. If you guys don't know, I voice Roa Cassidy in Yu-Gi-Oh 7s, and I voice London Cassidy in Yu-Gi-Oh Go Rush. So I got the duelist mentality, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if we can if you could redesign the Aphmau cast or just Rise in particular as a Yu-Gi-Oh character, I would love that. Just for me. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to do it, but I thought that would be cool. Who's probably your favorite design of this video? I think Rise is up there. Probably not my favorite, but it's definitely really well done. This one is my favorite. I think the Noi one was very well done. I really much enjoyed the Noi, and actually, for most part, the Deimos designs was killing it. The Deimos designs killed it. Straight up. They all slapped. Honestly, I think all the Deimos designs and Vlad were really good. I also like Michi a lot. I think those are my favorite. I think those were my top ones. Right? Cadenza was really good too. But I think the top ones were the Deimos designs and Michi. Deimos designs, Michi, and Vlad were definitely the best ones in my opinion. Okay, wait, James, serious question. Do you like ice cream or pizza better? Why'd you ask that question like I haven't like seen Mine or Demons? That's crazy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. Heishi, Keki, make sure you go subscribe to them. Super awesome. Really appreciate it. Had a lot of fun reacting to that with you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notifications so YouTube and Twitch Senpai can finally notice me. Take care of yourself, and as always, stay jammin'. Thanks so much for watching the video. This was streamed live on YouTube and Twitch. See you there, and as always, stay jammin'.